True, we've lost some giants, they were a credit to the game. But we've also found some young'uns, they promise to be the same. That's what the big game's all about, it happens every year. We lose a few of our heroes, but find others who know no fear. We see them give it all they know, we see them give it their best shot. It's whether unknown or famous, you gotta give it all you got. That season was a good one, we saw a big man walking tall. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
Good afternoon, welcome to Nosey Roads and Helens for today's Stones Bitter League Championship clash. Saints versus Castleford, 13th of March 1988. Saints led out by Captain Shane Cooper. Also today's match day mascot, who's Ian Derbyshire. Ian's 8 years of age, attends St Teresa's School, Devon Street, just down the road from the hallowed turf here at Nosey Road. Out come the Castleford side now. Obviously a hard game today. Saints team, I'll just go through them for you now. Number 1 Beavers, 2 Ledger, 3 Lachlan, 4 Dave Tanner with the injury to Mark Elia, 5 David Large, 6 Cooper, 7 Holding, 8 Burke, 9 Groves, 10 Evans, 11 Farber, 12 Haggerty, 13 Platt. Saints substitutes, 14 Dwyer and 15 Jones. On the Castleford side, number 1 Ruckley, 2 Plange, 3 Marchant, 4 Hyde, 5 Anderson, 6 Irwin, 7 Beardmore, 8 Ward, 9 Kevin Beardmore, and number 7 Bob Beardmore of course, 10 Johnson, 11 Ketteridge, 12 England, 13 Joyner. Substitutes for Castleford, 14 Fifita and 15 Samson. So the match day officials out there with Saints captain Shane Cooper, John Joyner, I think Castleford captain, match day mascot Ian Derbyshire, referee Fred Lindop. It's possibly Fred Lindop's last match here at Nosey Road, unless he gets one of the playoff matches. Probably he's the Wembley Cup final referee. It's his last season in Rugby League. It seems, I know you probably have varied opinions, but probably one of the best referees around. And it's his last season anyway. Away we go. Saints kick off. Paul Loughlin kicks deep. Castleford stop it on their own line. Drive forward. David Plange. Brought down just short of the 25. Well, it hasn't stopped raining here in St Helens for about 2 days, and obviously conditions are going to be difficult. You can see it's getting a bit waterlogged out there, and probably impair play. Kevin Ward there coming through, and Saints solid tackling. Referee Lindop awards a penalty to Castleford straight away in what he considers over-exuberant tackling from Paul Farber. Paul, one of Saints' up-and-coming forwards, made that second row spot his own this season. So it's Martin Ketteridge, kicks for touch, finds touch. Just over 5 yards in the Saints half. Kevin Beardmore to start. Castleford spreading it to the left. Saints penalised for offside. Castleford moving it quickly. Let's just hope referee Lindop's as consistent all through the match. So a chance of points on the board for Castleford. Number 7 Bob Beardmore, prolific goal scorer. These Beardmore twins shone when Castleford beat Hull KR at Wembley a couple of seasons ago. It's the first chance for scoring today, right in front of the posts, about 30 yards out, so it shouldn't be any problem. Direct kick, Castleford on song after beating bottom club Swinton last Sunday, 76 points to 16. A 60-point gap, that's a hell of a gap in the first division there. Bob Beardmore lining up. Well, that It's a flapper taken by Vivers, takes it well. Vivers drives forward, so Saints in possession. First touch of the ball. Paul Loughlin picks it up, drives forward. Really coming into his own now, Paul Loughlin. Alex Murphy always promoting him, and it seems as though he's really believing in himself now. Stuart Evans in possession, and Castleford being penalised for slinging a punch in there on Evans as he was driving through. Second row forward, Keith England. So Saints kick upfield, Paul Groves to start. Tony Burke first man in, and Castleford penalised for offside. Well, that's, I suppose that is consistency. He's done both teams twice in rapid succession. Just 3 minutes of the game gone, 2 penalties each. But from that second penalty there, Paul Loughlin with a chance to go for points to put Saints in the lead. 35 yards out, just to the left of the posts, and about 15-20 yards in from the touchline. Paul Loughlin, Saints leading goal scorer with 80 goals to his credit this season and 6 tries. Well within his capability, and possibly a chance to put Saints into the lead. There he goes. Looks as though it's coming to the right. Yes, comes to the right. Castleford man takes it. Drives over to the Saints right wing. Shane Cooper and Dave Tanner quickly in there. Cooper in there again at the tackle. Castleford man coming through from acting half-back. Keith England taking it to the right. Strong lad. Big pack, this Castleford pack, with Ward, Beardmore, Johnson, Kettridge, England and Joyner. Ward again. International forward Ward. Had a spell in Australia last close season. It's Castleford still in possession, taking it to the right. Ball coming to Bob Beardmore. Dave Large gathers it. Well, no way that was a knock-on. Obviously a difficult ball, but that ball definitely coming back. He's facing his own posts. Referee Lindop blowing for a knock-on. Bad decision there in my opinion. But there's a scrum down with a Castleford head and ball. Bob Beardmore to feed. Well, Saints penalised there. Loose arm in the scrum. Castleford moving the scrum round to the left. Paul Groves penalised for loose arm in the scrum. So Castleford getting another penalty. Kettridge gains the added yardage, finds touch 5 yards short of the Saints. 25. Kevin Beardmore to start. On to Kettridge. Brought down on the 25. Andy Platt quickly in there with Tony Burke. Castleford coming away from acting half-back. Solid tackling from the Saints. Bouncing down. Loose ball. Goes back to the Castleford side. Of course, referee Lindop wins the tackle count off. Bob Beardmore takes it to the right. Castleford still in possession, the ball with Ward. He flicks it out. Good handling from Castleford. Joyner, short ball there. Solid tackling. Neil Holding quickly in. Stems the flow. Bangs the fullback Rookley down. Joyner trying to get things going. Short ball onto number 10, Barry Johnson. Joyner again, attacks in half-back. Castleford moving it to the right. Breaks the cover defence. Takes it out to plunge. Saints cover quickly over there. Castleford again, moving it quickly to the left. Just can't penetrate this Saints defence at present. Last tackle now for Castleford. And to Bob Beardmore. High up and under. Well, offside rule for off the Castleford man. So Saints get another penalty. Barry Ledger and Paul Loughlin under a lot of pressure there from that high kick from Bob Beardmore. So one of the Castleford players ruled offside from the kick. Paul Loughlin kicks downfield, finds touch just outside their own 25. It's Paul Groves to restart for Saints. Roy Haggerty on the blind side. Strong run of this Haggerty. Come blind side, and if he just break the cover defence. Castleford line up very quickly, but the ball back to Loughlin for the kick downfield. All Castleford have to turn round. It's Marchant, he gathers the ball. Taken down, Dave Tanner. Plunge, and Rookley work the loop movement. Well, blatant forward pass there, but referee Lindop didn't pick up on that one. Castleford trying to make the break. Joyner gets him going. Feeds a lovely ball inside to Bob Beardmore, I think. It was Andy Platt quickly in there with Neil Holding. Takes him down centre field. Kevin Ward with a short ball, loose ball, cleaned up by Ketteridge. Barry Ledger takes his man down. Good smother tackle from Ledger there, with Castleford with a two-man overlap on the left end. Johnson taking it right. Rain still coming down heavily. Not many supporters out in the open spaces, all clumping for cover. The Castleford kick up field. Barry Ledger lets the ball bounce, plays it safe, turns round, beats one, just brought down over the 25. Phil Beavers moving up for acting halfback. Plays it to his right. Tony Burke coming down, pushes one off but loses the ball in the tackle. Burke. Sean Irwin gathers the loose ball. Kevin Beardmore at dummy half, bringing it blindside to Ketteridge. Loughlin and Burke quickly in there. Kevin Beardmore again. These Beardmore brothers, they certainly have a rapport between them when they're playing. And it's Kevin Beardmore on to brother Bob. Castleford taking it right. Joyner. Short ball there from Joyner. Good ball. Nearly beat the Saints. Cover defence coming in. What's good tackling. Holds out firm. Kevin Ward finally plays the ball. Beardmore from dummy half. Trying to scamper through. Last tackle now for Castleford. Can expect one of these high up and under bombs again, can we? On to England. Well, Johnson it was. Castleford moving it quickly. The kick through. Barry Ledger does the safe thing there under the conditions. Much of the displeasure of the crowd, but an awkward ball. Slippery conditions, and Barry Ledger wasn't going to have any trouble there. He kicked the ball dead after Castleford had kicked through. That was on the sixth tackle, putting pressure on the Saints. Castleford man injured there, centre field, just in front of the posts. When we played Castleford in the opening match of the season at Weldon Road, we went down by 20 points to 10, but it was a game we could and should have won. Castleford coming away late on with a plunged try. Well, Saints gather the ball there, yes, from the drop out. It hits the Castleford man. It bounced back. John Joyner was in an offside position. He couldn't gather the ball, and Roy Haggerty following up, got the ball. Saints awarded a penalty. Groves up quick. Castleford moving it to the left. Martin Ketteridge feeds it back to Samson. Looks as though he was tackled there, Ketteridge, but he flings it up. Referee rules play on. Kevin Anderson at dummy half. Bob Beardmore, quick ball onto Johnson, onto Ward, upended by Farber. Super tackle from Farber. Has to play the ball to the right. Fifita, Cooper takes him down. Super tackling stint from the Saints. Not allowing Castleford any leeway whatsoever. They've got to kick up field, try and get themselves a bit of space. Beavers turns round, gathers the ball safely. Comes to the right. Taken down, Gary Hyde, first man in for Castleford. Well, Saints penalised there. The man impeded, I think Beavers was impeded as he tried to play the ball, but referee Lindop in his wisdom awards Castleford the penalty, much to the displeasure of the crowd. Bob Beardmore going to go for goal. Just inconsistency over here. Castleford didn't play the ball. Referee allowed play on. He looked at his linesman. The linesman told him, well, I don't know what he told him, but he didn't play the ball. A scrum down was ruled, but he chooses to award a penalty at that occasion. gives Castleford a chance to get further points on the board. 25 minutes of this first half gone. Castleford with a slender 4 points to nil lead. Bob Beardmore lining up. Yes, just comes inside the right hand upright. So Bob Beardmore extends Castleford lead to 6 points to nil. Saints kick off. David Plange tidies up, picks the ball up over his own line. Drives over to his right wing berth. David Large and David Tanner quickly in there, and Ketteridge now. Castleford pegged in their own 25 at present. Just after scoring that penalty goal for an offence at the play of the ball. Loose ball, Saints gather it. Roy Haggerty there, coming in for the loose ball. Unfortunately, couldn't pick it up. Knocks the ball forward, shows his displeasure with himself, bounces the ball down to the ground. Got to scrum down on the Castleford 25. It's a Castleford head and ball. It's Bob Beardmore to feed. Castleford come up with the scrum. Possibly the first clean scrum they've won, according to my figures. It is Saints cleaning up by 4-1 on the scrums. Bob Beardmore, acting half-back, taking it right. Brought forward Barry Johnson, beats the first sliding defence from Saints, but Andy Platt and Paul Groves in there. Bob Beardmore again. Castleford moving it to the right. Joyner trying to get things going. Onto Ward. Loose ball, Saints tidy up. Quickly spread it. Stuart Evans gathers it and drives forward. Just calms the play down there, Evans. Barber attacking half-back. Onto Andy Platt, straightens up, comes crossfield. Neil Holding. Roy Haggerty. Strong running Haggerty. Feeds it off. Lovely ball to Loughlin. Out to Barry Ledger. Down this wing. Coming in field. Solid tackle from Castleford, but a lovely ball from Roy Haggerty. Onto Loughlin. Saints moving it left. Quickly. Overlap on the left. Quick hands required from Saints. Cooper. Barber. Beavers. With the ball going down. Knocked on. Offside decision ruled. Paul Farber, I think it was, picking the ball up in an offside position as Phil Beavers knocked forward. But certainly Saints putting it together there. They could have just moved it cleanly over to the left. Certainly a try would have been on the cards. But Kettridge kicks for touch. 29 minutes of the first half gone. Castleford 6 points to nil in the lead. Castleford kick up field for the penalty. Play the ball, and it's Sampson brought down in possession. Castleford substitute forward. Now on to the substitute back, John Fifita. Brought down just short of the halfway line. England, I think it was no Johnson dummy in. But Castleford take it to the right, loose ball. Forward pass being ruled. Well, I think it's a forward pass he's ruling. To scrum down the 10 yards inside the Castleford half. It's Neil Olin to feed the scrum. Saints tidying up 4-1 at present. But just not been able to penetrate the Castleford ranks. Saints come away with the ball. Quick hands, moving to the right. Beavers linking up. Tanner coming for acting half-back. Loop movement there, and Tanner getting into the thick of things. Obviously trying to inject some pace into the Saints back line. Well, Shane Cooper uncharacteristically taking his eye off the ball. The ball goes down. I think it's a double knock-on as the Castleford man Ward knocks on as well. But the original knock-on being ruled, and it's going to be a Castleford feed. Bob Beardmore to feed. Coming right through the pack, and then hooked back by the Castleford front row man Barry Johnson. So it's the scrum's got to reform again. And Castleford hook it this time. Move it quickly to the left. Solid tackling there. Beavers coming up. Cooper in assistance. Joyner trying to get him going. On to Kettridge. Solid tackling from Saints there. Haggerty, Loughlin. Loose ball. Well, the ball come loose. Referee Lindops right there on the job. Roy Haggerty picks it up, and then in his wisdom he decided to blow up. So you can't win, can you there? What was he expected to do? If Castleford had picked it up, surely it would have been a knock-on. And here's me saying about Fred Lindop being one of the top whistlers, and obviously he's displeasing the Saints. He'll hold him from the base of the scrum, down the blind side. Anderson lying on. His attention being brought to it by the partisan crowd here on the popular side. So Saints awarded the penalty. Neil Holding chips it into touch. Saints with 6 tackles now and 20 yards from the Castleford line to get the first points on the board. And moving it left. Cooper. Farber. Loop movement with Cooper. Onto Haggerty in space. Saints moving it left onto David Large into running. Yes! Brilliant from Saints. Quick hands. From that play the ball here. 20 yards I should say. From the Castleford line. They moved it quickly to the left. Quick hand from the Saints. Moved it right across. From the right here over to the left. And Saints, David Large going in at the far corner. And David Large going in for his 3rd try of the season. Putting Saints back in the hunt. 32 minutes in the first half. 4 points for the Saints, 6 points to Castleford. Quick hand from Saints there, as I say, you see that on the replay. Neil Holding kicks for touch and quick play the ball. Saints moved it to the left. Cooper spreading it over, and Large finally tagging onto the end of it. Going in at the corner. The Paul Loughlin difficult kick right on the touchline. On the 25. Looks good from here. No, short. Short of the post, I should say, not short of distance. So the score's 6 points to Castleford, 4 points to Saints. There's 7 minutes of this first half remaining. And certainly the game back in the melting pot. Castleford to kick off. Kettridge. Diagonal kick. Andy Platt. Dave Tanner, I beg your pardon. Sorry about that, Andy. Dave Tanner takes it safely. Tony Burke driving forward. Strong forward, this lad Burke. Very muddy conditions. Groves from acting half-back. Brilliant forward, this Groves. Outrageous dummy. The full-back took it roughly, but onto Tony Burke. Streaking for the line. Ball's loose, unlucky there. Burke loses the ball in the tackle after those superb drives by Groves from dummy half position and then onto Tony Burke. Saints kick through, have to play the ball. The ball goes dead. It's going to be a 25-yard tap restart for Castleford. And Castleford down to 12 men. Another man injured there. They've already made 2 substitutions early in the first half. Good play there. Roy Haggerty up at the play the ball. He kicked the ball through. Went to follow it up, but it was too long. It went dead. So Castleford with a 25-yard tap restart. Over to Sampson. Coming blindside. Cooper takes him down. Ruckley coming up. Acting half-back. Castleford moving it to the right. Quick hands. Joyner onto Kevin Ward. Takes some pulling down this Ward. He releases the ball. Onto Ruckley. Groves quickly in there. Snuffs him out. Joyner, acting half-back for Cass. They're being forced back. Super Saints tackling, forcing the Castleford team back. But just outside their own 25. They are winning by 6 points to 4. There's 5 minutes of the first half remaining. The ball back to Kettridge, kicks upfield. Beavers takes it cleanly. Drives forward, Beavers, over the halfway. Fifita brings him down. Cooper at dummy half. Stuart Evans coming on the burst. Gets some pulling down, Evans. Certainly coming into his own after being signed earlier in the season from Neath Rugby Union. Neil Holding. Still going Holding, bobbing and weaving. Feeds the ball onto Cooper. Saints nobody on the right. Well, aggressive tackling coming in there on Shane Cooper. Number 12 that time, Keith England, but Saints moving it quickly. Andy Platt linking up. Short ball from Beavers. Lachlan now for the up and under. Follows the kick. Ruckley there. Unlucky. Ruckley takes it very cleanly. Lachlan pressurised him, but he gets away. But looks like Tony Burke comes back and gives him the old wraparound tackle and bounces Ruckley down. And Castleford trying to move it quickly. Still inside their own half, just a few yards from the halfway line. Bob Beardmore on to Kevin Ward, coming crossfield, looking to release, does so. Ruckley tidies up Groves, through there like a shot. Groves looking for that loose ball, but Castleford forced back. They've been forced back a full 20 yards there. Marchant, the ball going crossfield to Kettridge. Referee Lindop stopping play there, is he? Having a word. Stuart Evans, I think he's having a word with it. And he's penalised the Saints. It certainly looked like a first shoulder charge on Martin Kettridge on the last tackle as he kicked through, but referee Lindop blowing up straight away, awarding the penalty where the ball had stopped. Bob Beardmore steps up, gains further yardage for Castleford. They restart play on the Saints 25. Just 2 minutes remaining of the first half. Castleford with a slender 2-point lead, leading by 6 points to 4. Saints put under pressure for only the second time in this match. It was Beardmore trying to scamper through from the acting half-back position. Well, Castleford putting the pressure on the set. Well, feigning to play the ball and being duly penalised for his trouble. So Saints awarded the penalty. Castleford putting the pressure on Saints, and they bring their own downfall there. Penalised for feigning to play the ball, not playing it. Paul Lachlan kicks for touch. Finds touch on the Saints 25. David Large feeds it inside to Paul Groves to restart. Saints drive it upfield. To Roy Haggerty. They run at him. Haggerty looks to feed on, does so, onto Tony Burke. Turns round in the tackle, Burke to feed back, but solid tackling from Castleford. Groves again at dummy half, brings it blindside. David Large comes in field, tidies up. Well, the far side touch trudges on. Obviously the Castleford man going in with the boot, I think, on David Large. Two players out there on the far side. The far side touch judge on with referee Lindop. Yes, Castleford being penalised. Saints come up with a penalty, obviously a bad tackle on David Large. He did well there, David Large went down bravely for that ball. But sustained a knock in the tackle. Well, a stretcher being called for. Saints physio Tim Deakin over there, and the man just been the Castleford man obviously just been spoken to. It's such a nasty injury like that. If it calls for a stretcher, surely further action should be taken. David Large is having to come off the field, coming over here to the dugout. I don't think it's all on the half-time routine. I don't think Saints will make a substitution before half-time. David Large being led cross-field. Saints kick upfield, restart. Tony Burke driving forward. Paul Groves acting half-back. Saints onto Stuart Evans, driving forward. And Castleford getting fired up now. Going in there, there's the half-time hooter. So just a minute of injury time being played. So at half-time, Castleford going in the lead. They're winning by 6 points to 4. They opened the scoring in the 13th minute with a plunged try. Then at 26 minutes, Bob Beardmore penalty goal. Saints hitting back in the 32nd minute with a David Large try, but he just had to come off from the field of play. He is walking off there. He doesn't look too bad, but we'll just have to see at half-time. Saints not making the substitution, so the half-time score, Saints 4, Castleford 6. Back with you now at Nosey Road for the second half of this Stones Bitter League clash. Saints trailing 6 points to 4 at half-time. Excuse me, David Large just being injured right on the stroke of half-time. Saints didn't make a substitution, but at half-time they've chosen to do so. Bernard Dwyer has come on to replace David Large. Castleford making 2 substitutions in the first half. Both Sampson and Fafita coming on for Kevin Beardmore and Sean Irwin. Both teams with clean jerseys on. Uncommon for me, I haven't done too bad in the first half for player identification, but Castleford kick-off. Dwyer takes it. Sampson quickly in there with number 12, Keith England. Saints bringing it blindside, Tony Burke. Couldn't bring this man Burke down. Groves at dummy half. On to Stuart Evans, driving forward into him. Turns round but can't release. Solid Castleford tackling, holds firm. The ball back from Groves at dummy half to Loughlin. Hefty kick upfield. Plange and Ruckley. Ruckley feeds onto Plange. He comes back down the wing. Runs into Holding and Tanner. Roy Haggerty in support there. But Castleford moving it to the left. Number 12, Keith England. Now with Sampson. Paul Farber quickly in there with Bernard Dwyer. Barry Johnson with the dummy at the acting half-back position, but Paul Farber bounces him down. Castleford now trying to move it to the right. Kettridge knocks it back, but regathers as Evans comes through to kick forward. It's the last tackle now for Castleford. On to Bob Beardmore, on to Fafita. Takes the tackles, tries to release. Forward pass being ruled, but it's the changeover. Yes, forward pass being ruled, and under the new ruling on the 6th tackle, if any offence, which is ruled not to be a penalty, the changeover takes place. Saints move it quickly to the right. Phil Beavers feeds onto Paul Loughlin. Groves restarts play. Cooper sees the gap. Feeds it inside to Neil Holding. On to Roy Haggerty. Off 1 foot inside Haggerty. Looking for space. Feeds it out to Stuart Evans. Saints driving forward. Got to put it together now. Get early score on the board. Cooper, loop movement with Groves. Out to Andy Platt. Over to the right, Andy Platt. Inside to Loughlin. Yes, Cooper is over there. Early score for Saints. Cooper goes over in the 2nd minute. Brilliant play. Andy Platt made the initial break. Then it on to Loughlin. He came inside. And Cooper there as ever. Backing up. Going over for his 10th try of the season, puts Saints back in the lead. 8 points to 6 at present. So 8 points to 6 for the Saints. Dave Tanner with the conversion from the right side of the posts. Saints with a lot of injuries, injury problems. John Fieldhouse again, recurrence of niggly knee problems. Mark Healy out with a sprained ankle, plus the flu bug that we've had, as I mentioned before, with Andy Platt, Farber, Cooper and Neil Holding. Also, we've had Les Quirk out for a while, Kevin McCormack and Peter Suto. But we've got quite an abundance of talent here at St Helens, and we've been available to field strong sides. Push Dave Tanner now, stepping up. No, slices it, I think. Yeah, slices it across the front of the posts. But Saints with 2 tries to 1. In the lead now, 8 points to 6. Just 4 minutes now of this second half gone. Saints take the lead for the first time in this match, and Castleford kick off. David Tanner takes it cleanly, goes to the right, looking for the way through. Tanner, well, solid tackling there, bouncing down. Kevin Ward and Bob Beardmore with the number 11 Kettridge. Dwyer looking for support, Groves with him, couldn't release it that time. Tony Burke coming from deep, driving forward, solid tackling, good pack on this Castleford outfit, very strong workman-like pack. The ball with Cooper, little chip forward. Harvard picks it up. Well, the referee, Lindop, offside. He's penalised Saints for offside at that kick through from Shane Cooper. Neil Holding going up there, attempting to kick the ball. He missed it. Paul Farber picked it up and drove forward. So toss up whether Farber was offside or not, but referee Lindop had made his decision. Penalty awarded to Castleford, and Bob Beardmore going for goal. Saints also without Chris Arkwright today. He's sustained a 1-match automatic ban for 3 sin bins. As we know, in the week, Darren Bluer appealed against a 3 sin bin offence, enabling him to play in the semi-final yesterday. He said he produced video evidence, and I'm sure you regular Saints supporters, if they'd watch the Saints video, that tackle on Holding from Bluer was nothing more than a forearm smash. So how they've stated that it was just a first shoulder charge is certainly beyond me. Beardmore fails with that penalty attempt. Saints gather the ball, they're in possession, they're just inside their own 25. Castleford moving up very quickly. Groves at dummy half, feeds it on to Evans, coming from deep. Trying to move forward, create a bit of space. Groves brings it blindside, feeds it inside to Dwyer. Solid tackling. Samson this time. The ball coming back to Loughlin. Takes it up to Beavers. Loughlin taken there heavily as the ball had gone. Beavers kicks upfield, beats Ruckley. Planche comes infield. He loses the ball. Saints have to capitalise on this. Quick hands there. Evans, I think that is driving forward. Castleford penalised, not being 5 yards back at the play of the ball. So Saints awarded a penalty. Planche lost the ball in the tackle. Solid tackling from Saints. And as Evans drove through with the ball, 2 Castleford men in an offside position. Referee Lindop penalises them, and Paul Loughlin steps up to hopefully convert this penalty kick into points. The Saints last week only just beating Hunslet at Elland Road. Hunslet next to the bottom club. And Saints just scraping through by 14 points to 10. It must be said they was very lucky to come through winning the Saints. Castleford, beg your pardon, Hunslet had about 3 clear-cut chances, but an offside decision, a forward pass decision, and one whether it was just super tackling, whereas Lay, the full-back, was coming through, the ball shot out of his hands. That's another difficult playing conditions there at Elland Road. last week, but that's water under the bridge, and we've got to get on with today's job. Loughlin there, strokes it well, right between the sticks. So Paul Loughlin bangs over his first goal of the afternoon today for the Saints, extends the Saints lead to 10 points to 6. Paul Loughlin's 81st goal of the season. So I converted it there into points. Castleford paying the penalty. Fafita still arguing with referee Lindop. He's being read the riot act. He obviously must have been mouthing. If he's not careful, he'll be walking down the tunnel. So Castleford kick off. David Tanner takes it again. Goes crossfield. Fafita comes in, completes the tackle. Bernard Dwyer attacked in half-back. Tony Burke now. Being forced back, Tony Burke, solid Castleford tackling. Saints bring it blindside, forward. Quick hands from Saints, on to Roy Haggerty. David Large inside. Still going Large, brought down on the 25. Well, beg your pardon, David Tanner. David Large gone off injured. All on being ruled. Must have come off Rukley's legs. So with that injury to David Large, Roy Haggerty has come on to the left centre position. David Large, David Tanner onto the left wing. Bernard Dwyer in the pack. And Castleford bringing it blindside onto Plange. Tanner takes him down. Solid tackling. Groves comes in there to assist. Number 12, Keith England, at dummy half, moves it left. The ball now with Fafita for Castleford. Good hard game here, considering the terrible playing conditions, the pitch conditions. The handling's been quite good. 10 points to 6 in Saints' favour. Last tackle for Castleford. They're moving it left. They're electing to run it. Saints have only got to bring the man down. It's the changeover. Well, the changeover rule surely. The Saints have the ball. Paul Loughlin going in, foraging for that ball. Quick hands from Saints. Cooper has to take the tackle. He'll hold him now. Takes it blindside. Onto Andy Platt. Barry Legend on his outside. Platt has to take the tackle. Brought down 10 yards inside the Castleford half. And the rain still teeming down here. Just 11 minutes of the second half gone. Brilliantly fed on there from Saints. Loughlin gives a good dummy. Tries to go through, but solidly brought down. Centre field now. Quick hand from Saints. Cooper. Dummies again. Creates the gap. Into space. Takes it well there, Saints. Drive it forward. Stuart Evans. Last tackle now for Saints. The ball to Groves. Little chip kick through. He gathers it off his knees. All on. Rukley gathers it for Castleford, but he takes a knock as he goes down. Unlucky there, Paul Groves. Loose ball. Saints come up with it. Quick hand now. Bernard Dwyer gets the dummy. Goes in field. Going for the line, Dwyer. Ball goes loose. The Castleford man come up with it. Knock on being ruled. Saints man must have come up with it. Unlucky there, Bernard Dwyer. Outrageous dummy, change of direction. Heading towards the posts. But a solid tackle from the Castleford pack. Bring Bernard Dwyer down. He loses the ball. Saints player must have tidied up. Got the ball. And it's scrum down. Castleford head and ball. I suppose we've a 50-50 chance, but Castleford come up for a scrum of the second half. Castleford win it. They're pegged deep in their own 25. Roy Haggerty quickly in there, completes the tackle. Castleford with Ketteridge now. Groves and Haggerty finally bring him to ground. Well, the referee's right on the job there, but he's waiting till the player is actually grounded. Looks as though the ball was coming back for the kick there. Barry Johnson, I think that is in possession for Castleford. Bob Beardmore at dummy half, moving it to the left. Fifita feeds it on. Quick hands onto Kevin Anderson, but Saints defence quickly up there, snuffs the Castleford outfit out. They're trying to come crossfield, not gaining any yardage whatsoever. Brought down on the 25. Last tackle for Cass. The ball coming back for the kick upfield from Ketteridge. A high kick, no problem for Barry Ledger. Takes it safely. Joyner coming up there, makes the tackle right on the halfway line. Saints back in possession. They're winning at present by 10 points to 6. 14 minutes of the second half gone. Tony Burke tries to release, but an extra Castleford man comes in there, completes the tackle. They're lying up Castleford here, offside. All on, knock on, being rude. Would have been all on. The Saints could have just gathered that ball as Dean Sampson drives forward. To scrum down 10 yards inside the Saints half. It's Neil Holding gonna feed. Surely it's the Saints feed. Bob Beardmore coming over for the ball. Well, Bob Beardmore with the feed, so the original knock on by Saints. And Saints come away with the ball. One against the head there. Neil Holding quickly around the base of the scrum. Andy Platt from acting halfback. 10-15 yard run. Beavers at dummy half. Groves, outrageous dummy, drives forward. Hallmark of Groves' play. A constant thorn in the opposition side. Bad ball there, but well taken by Shane Cooper. Shane Cooper going home on the 4th of April, should just get the Easter programme in before he goes back. Farber bursting through. Marchants there are blocking any chance of Farber getting the ball out to Dwyer on the blind side. With the ball now with Beavers. Chip kick through, Cooper chasing. Rookley comes up there. Rookley gets the ball, Cooper brings him down. Solid tackle from Shane Cooper. Saints pressing up very quickly there, forcing the Castleford side back. They're pegged in their own 25. They're spreading it to the left. Bob Beardmore, Joyner, Castleford bringing it to the right now. On to Fifita, looking as though they're getting a bit bottled up. Brought down right on the 25 yard line now, the Castleford 25 yard line that is. Barry Johnson, but no way through. He's bounced down. They're not gaining any yardage whatsoever. It's the last tackle of the set of 6 for Cass. The ball coming back upfield. The kick upfield by Castleford, taken by Barry Ledger. Brought down centre field, 5 yards from the halfway line. Tony Burke. Real middle of the field game this. On to Roy Haggerty now. Feeds it inside to Dwyer. Takes 3 men. Roy Haggerty there. Dwyer breaks through. Still going Dwyer. Beavers on his inside, but he can't get up there. Brilliant break from Dwyer. That's 2 breaks in quick succession. Neil Holding grubbers through for the corner. Castleford man has to kick dead. Looks like Marchant. Can't see. No Marchants over this side. The number 4 perhaps Gary Hyde. After that superb by Bernard Dwyer, the ball going to the right. Neil Holding grubbering through for the chase. Barry Ledger and Neil Holding following it up. But I think it was Hyde. Kicks the ball dead. Saints putting this Castleford outfit under a lot of pressure this second half. Trailing 6-4 at half time, with the winning 10 points to 6 now. 2 early scores in the second half. Beavers inside to Haggerty. In space, Haggerty. Bounces off one. Feeds it out. Keeps it going, Haggerty. Awkward ball to Holding, but he takes it well. Inside to Farber. Beats 2 Farber. Drives towards the 25. Surely it's only a matter of time now before Saints split this Castleford ranks. Cooper now. Burke going in field for that ball. Cooper elects to take the tackle. Saints bend it to the right. Bernard Dwyer again. And the third tackling there. Ketteridge going in over the top. The man's already on the floor. Blindside. Groves. Lofty pass. Unlucky Cooper couldn't take it. The ball goes to ground. Castleford drop on the loose ball. They're in possession. They're in their own 25. Saints kick the ball through from the play the ball. A further 6 tackles being awarded. Referee wipes the slate clean. Well, Saints penalised there for not being the requisite of 5 yards at the play the ball. Give Castleford a bit of breathing space. Saints putting Castleford under a lot of pressure. Ketteridge stepping up for the kick to touch. Just finds touch 5 yards outside his own 25. Barry Johnson to start. To Bob Beardmore, back to Barry Johnson, moving it left to Kevin Ward. Going crossfield, Ward. Trying to get the Castleford team going, but the ball knocked down. Knock on rule, surely. Referee Lindop slightly impeding Paul Farber in his efforts to go down on that ball. So a scrum down being ruled. With Saints feed. Castleford knocking on there. Neil holding to feed. One against the head, it looks like. Yes, Castleford come up with the ball. John Joyner, acting half-back. Feeds it inside to Sampson. Beats 2 tackles Sampson, going to the left. Finally brought down just short of the halfway line. Bob Beardmore, sacked the juggler, still manages to keep it going. On to Joyner, on to Ketteridge, straightening up, driving forward, centre field, still going Ketteridge. Solid 30-yard run from this second row pack man for Castleford. Neil holding there, marking Ketteridge. He shoulder charged Holding as he played the ball. He's been penalised, and then he has to have another chirp at referee Lindop. So he keeps carrying on. We'll put up with the added yardage, I'm sure. Loughlin, super kick from Loughlin, finds touch 5 yards short of the Castleford 25. So from Castleford being on the attack, Saints on the attack now. Roy Haggerty, first man in. Brought down on the 25. All over this field, Roy Haggerty. Certainly a versatile character. Started off in the second row, but with the injury to David Large, we've had to have a reshuffle, and he's forced over onto the left centre position. But Saints still in possession. Bringing it to the left. Tony Burke. Still going Burke. Brought down just on the Castleford 25 at midfield. Groves at dummy half. Taking it to the right to Cooper. Change of direction. Cooper looking for the gap. Castleford move up very quickly. Close him down. Just 22 minutes of the second half gone, Saints with a 4-point cushion. 10-6. Barry Ledger tidying up. Coming crossfield. Still going Ledger. Loses the ball in the tackle. Castleford man falls on it. So with this persistent rain, the handling been quite good up to now, but just get a little tangled up. Castleford in possession just outside their own 25, trailing by 10 points to 6. Loose ball, Saints on it. Well, knock on being ruled. An awkward decision there, not one I would agree with. Down right on the Castleford 25 now. Plenty of steam coming up from the pack there. Neil holding to feed, ball coming out Saints side. Quick loop movement from Saints. Loughlin in the line. Still going Loughlin. Solid run from this international centre of Saints, certainly coming into his own. Haggerty, centre field, looking to feed back, always looking to keep the ball moving. Roy Haggerty, but well bundled up that time. Beavers now, dummy half. Stuart Evans driving, centre field, still going Evans. Castleford being penalised for impeding Evans in his attempts to play the ball. It's going to be a penalty kick for goal here. Paul Loughlin, no problem. Saints captain Shane Cooper telling Loughlin, get it banged over. Saints will have a 6-point cushion then, right in front of the sticks. Just about 15, 17 yards out. Well, the Saints second in the Stones Bitter League, having played 18 games, winning 13, just losing 5, 494, 237 against, 26 points, just 4 points behind Widnes. Castleford, having played 18, they've won 10, lost 8, 3-8-4, 3-8-1-4, 3-6-1 against, 20 points. They're in 8th position. So Saints well on course for a good finish in this Stones Bitter League Championship. No reason why they can't win it. Loughlin steps up there, makes no mistake, bangs it over right between the sticks. So 12 points to 6 in Saints' favour. Paul Loughlin bangs his 82nd goal of the season over, his second of today's game. Saints with 2 tries, both unconverted by Large and Cooper, and 2 Loughlin penalty goals. So Kettridge now kicks off. Roy Haggerty stops it with his foot, gathers forward. Dummies to kick. Haggerty, real versatile character. Fafita coming in with a wraparound tackle around Roy Haggerty's head. He's finally brought to ground. Groves feeds it onto Tony Burke. Groves again, onto Andy Platt. Diagonal run from Platt, not been able to break this Castleford cover defence much today, the Saints, but certainly stuck to the task. Ball back to Loughlin for the kick up field. Ruckley stops it with his foot, plays it, Haggerty goes in, loses his footing. Ruckley comes to the touchline. Dave Tanner comes back after losing his footing with Paul Farber and brings him down. And Plange now with the runaround movement with Bob Beardmore. Being forced back, Plange, obviously held. Being shouted by referee Lindop. And Sampson taking it crossfield. Dwyer gets the loose ball, I think. Yes, Saints possession. Did well there, Bernard Dwyer. Went in for that to pinch the ball at the tackle and was successful. Neil Holding now. Onto Cooper, change of direction. Saints bringing it left. Cooper brought down, centre field. Just inside the Castleford half. Neil Holding now. Bernard Dwyer again. Well, Fafita in there rather aggressively. Touch judge here, quite unmoved. Knock on. Oh, surely. Not England, Johnson. And referee Lindop bringing out Stuart Evans for something in the tackle. Well, both Kettridge and Evans being spoken to, but I would imagine the penalty will be going Castleford's way. He's warning Evans about what it looks like a high tackle, but only a couple of minutes earlier, right in front of him, John Fafita with head-high tackle going unnoticed. So Castleford awarded the penalty. Kettridge to kick for touch. He always elect to tap it. He drives forward, gains 10-15 yards, brought down 10 yards short of the Saints 25. Bob Beardmore at dummy half. Onto Fafita. Castleford in possession. Knock on. Looking for a quick play of the ball. Saints pressing up very quickly. And Castleford knock on to scrum down just outside the Saints 25. It's Saints feed. There's 28 minutes of the second half gone, just 12 minutes remaining. Saints with a 6-point cushion, 12 points to 6 in the lead. Saints come away with the ball. Phil Beavers. The feet are in there again. Haggerty now, driving through, keeps it going onto Andy Platt. just approaching the halfway line. Good break from Haggerty there. Had a good game today. Haggerty been all over the field. Groves feeds it inside to Holding. Looked as though he was held as he tried to go through. Saints wants a quick play of the ball. Holding being forced back right in front of the referee. Groves again coming away. Well, referee has to get a grip of this game. Castleford temper's getting a little frayed. But Saints still in possession. Neil Holding. Bad ball there, but tidied up by Phil Beavers. Can't have many of these long balls in these awkward, muddy conditions. Andy Platt, that was kicked upfield. Castleford man takes it behind his own line, drives forward. Well, penalising the Saints player for going in with the knees there, as the man losing his footing, and Evans, he couldn't help himself there. He didn't go in with the knees intentionally. The man slipping. Evans just falling over him, really, in fact, but awarded the penalty. Castleford by referee Lindop. An unpopular decision there. No way any player could have done anything about that. The Castleford player just looks as though he took the Saints player's legs from underneath him as he slid forward in the outrageous slippery conditions. But Castleford get the extra yardage from the penalty. They're in possession, the 10 yards short of the halfway line. They're trying to get things going. Sampson, I think that is, breaking through. Feeds it right, loose ball. Saints come up with the ball, surely. Original knock on being ruled, but Saints come up with the ball. So it must be Saints head and ball. The original knock on from the Castleford team being ruled. 10 minutes of the game remaining. Saints in the lead, 12 points to 6. Neil Holding comes away with the ball. Fafita comes round quickly. Saints bringing it blindside. Roy Haggerty going away from acting half-back. Well, he's in again for Peter on Haggerty. Referee Lindop's right there. Is he going to rule anything? Castleford all offside. Well, Saints take it to the right. Quick ball there. Andy Platt breaks the cover. Going over to the right. Castleford come back quickly. Last tackle now ruled. All Castleford offside. Yes, referee Lindop catches him this time. So Saints tap it. Offside again being ruled as the Castleford outfit not going back the required 5 yards. So a chance for Saints to go for goal this time. Saints popular side crowd getting behind them now. Paul Jones, Saints substitute forward going on the Sandman for Paul Loughlin in centre field. It's about 35 yards out. Centre field, well within Loughlin's capabilities. Already kicked 2 today. Saints winning by 12 points to 6. This will put them 8 points in the clear when he slots this over. And that will mean that Castleford will have to score twice to regain the lead. So Paul Loughlin taking his time, stepping up there. Steps up, lofts it, hits the post, unlucky Loughlin. Castleford regather it, Holding quickly up there. Castleford in possession, but they're in their own 25, the ball's loose. Castleford knock on, super tackle from Saints there. Forced the mistake from the Castleford outfit. It's Saints head and ball, which is one that we've got to win. It's our feed, but I suppose Castleford have a 50-50 chance of winning the ball. Neil Holding going on the far side. Saints got the ball. Neil Holding works the dummy movement with Andy Platt. He just can't get away, loses his footing in the slippery conditions, but Saints putting all the pressure on. 20 yards from the Castleford line, leading by 6 points, 12 points to 6 in Saints' favour. Six minutes of the game remaining. Groves going at from acting half-back. Saints being forced back temporarily. Cooper works the dummy with Castleford, and Saints coming away to the left. Forward. Ducks under one, but brought down. Solid tackling from the Castleford pack. Hold the Saints out. Neil Holding spreads it right. Andy Platt straightens up, drives to the line. Last tackle for Saints now. And we're going to have a go for drop goal. Is it going to come to the left? Neil Holding, crossfield, lofted kick. Ooh, just running dead. And Neil Holding was that. Somebody come across there at a furrow rate of knots and banged right into the advertising hoarding. No, it was a Castleford man. So it's Castleford to restart with a 25-yard tap restart. 5 minutes of the game remaining. Saints still in the lead, 12 points to 6. Solid performance from the Saints today. Saints with an indifferent performance last week at Ellen Road, and Castleford certainly on song, winning by 60 points, beating Swinton 76-16. Castleford being penalised there for holding on to the Saints player's jersey. So from a similar position, Paul Loughlin going to have another go for goal. Certainly these are the tactics. There's 5 minutes remaining, chance of 2 points on the board, an extra 2 points for the Saints. Put them in virtually an unassailable position. So it's Paul Loughlin lining up again. A similar position from the last attempt, which he just hit the left hand upright. Three strides, Loughlin just to the left a couple. Takes his composure, steps up for the kick. Saints going to follow it up this time. Loughlin, yes, successful there this time. So Saints going to an 8-point lead now, 14 points to 6. There's only 3 minutes now, just over 3 minutes of the game remaining. Surely this game beyond Castleford's reach. Good play from Saints. They stuck to the task. They went in trailing 6 points to 4 at half time. But they certainly hit back in good style with that second minute Cooper try, and then 3 Paul Loughlin penalty goals. The touch judge is on, the referee was on. Surely it's 10 minutes in the sin bin for this Fifita, this St George Australian import. He's been having a go at Haggerty all this second half. Shane Cooper there having words with the referee Lindop. He is the Saints captain. Well, referee Lindop just warning him, awarding Saints the penalty. Foregone conclusion that was. You could see what Fifita's idea was, straight in at Haggerty. So Paul Loughlin kicks for touch, finds touch, virtually on the halfway line. 2 minutes remaining. Paul Loughlin, tap, restart. Kicks the ball upfield, the chase is on, the crossfield, a diagonal kick. Castleford in possession within row 25, super tackle from the Saints there. Moving up very quickly. Got to peg Castleford back in their own 25. Keep them up there, time running out for them. And Saints with an 8 points lead. Castleford trying to drive forward. Rain still teeming down. Never stopped raining for 2 days here at Nosey Road, and it's rained quite steadily for the whole of this match. Castleford being awarded a penalty there for an infringement at the play of the ball. Play restarts midway between the halfway and the Castleford 25. Referee Lindop wants the spur ball taken from the field of play. Kevin Ward driving through as the ball knocked from his hands. Surely the original knock-on must be ruled. Castleford come up with the ball. Well, bad decision there. No chance of Saints regaining possession, I should say. Castleford in possession with another 6 tackles to the credit. Castleford kick upfield. Kevin Weaver's going to kick this ball dead, yes. Takes the first line of action, the best line of action. No time for fancy stuff there. Castleford seeing Saints were all pressing up. They kicked the ball over the Saints defence line up. The chase was on for the ball. Weaver's got back quickly and booted the ball dead. So Saints forced to drop out from under their own posts. We're playing in injury time now. I don't think we've had any stoppage in the second half. I can't remember. But obviously there must be a few seconds. Saints drop out. Castleford in possession. Drive over to the Castleford right wing. Saints come up with the ball. Shane Cooper, I think it is. It's getting very muddied out there. Certainly welcome that warm bath at the end of this match. It's in possession, 10 yards from the halfway line. Stuart Evans, driving forward Evans. Saints move it to the right, little chip kick through, Groves following it up. Rookley gathers the ball. He's brought down, it's Castleford in possession. A minute of injury time gone. Beardmore. Castleford coming crossfield. Still going. Finally brought down. But there's the final hooter. So Saints running out winners, 14 points to 6. They maintain their unbeaten home run, unbeaten at home this season. Saints running out 14 points to 6 winners, as I just said, with tries from David Large and Shane Cooper and 3 Paul Loughlin penalty goals. A good second half performance, coming back from a 6 points to 4 deficit at half time. So on behalf of Mike on video, myself Ron Hoof, your regular commentator, your regular cameraman, Brian Pears, I bid you farewell from a dismal Nosey Road, but the good news is Saints running out winners by 14 points to 6. And we look forward to joining you again midweek, where we entertain Salford on Wednesday night. To get the first points on the board. And moving it left, Cooper, Farber, loop movement with Cooper. Onto Haggerty in space. Saints moving it left onto David Large, it's a run-in. Yes, brilliant from Saints. Quick hands. From that play the ball here,